Nobody even knew how many be shot dead. Nobody would have taken risks or taken any chances when the paratroopers were ordered to open fire. The bullets rang out like the song of Satan's choir.
So, what's up, my peeps? MatrixNative here. Tonight's video, that's right, my peeps, another build, and this time, as requested by at least 4 of my peeps out there. Well, fam, here it is, the Irish Ranger. Speaking of fam, a couple of troops here in the Matrix Army have been requesting this build with a gas mask for quite a while now, and that would be my boy Beham Officer 328 and Forensics Officer 80. Beham, when you feel like it, try and do a Irish Army Rangers. If you do a search, it all shows them with gas mask on. And my boy Forensics Officer 80, I would like to see a build using the gas mask. Again, my peeps, this has been requested especially by these 2 troopers for quite a while. Joe Smith, okay, new to the channel, very nice builds you have here. I'm from Ireland and would like to see a build with the Irish Army Ranger build. My dad in the military, and would be cool to see you do the build. If not, that's okay. I still watch your videos, liked and sub. Edit. Sorry about my English. I lived most of my life in Germany. Also, my name is not Joe Smith, LOL. Well, I gotta tell you, Mr. Smith, I kinda thought that it would not be your real life name. But anyways, this is for all my fam out there. Hope you appreciate it. Let's get on with the history, my peeps. Okay, so the Irish Army Ranger, basically the unit would be called the Army Ranger Wing, the ARW, is the Special Operations Force of the Irish Defence Forces, the military of Ireland. A branch of the Irish Army, it also recruits personnel from the Naval Service and the Air Corps. It serves at the behest of the Defence Forces and Government of Ireland. Basically, that's who it serves, right? Operating internally and overseas and reports directly to the Chief of Staff. The ARW was established in 1980 with the primary role of counterterrorism and evolved to both special operations and counterterrorism roles from 2000 after the end of the conflict in Northern Ireland. If you don't know about that, go ahead and Google it. The unit is based in Curragh Camp in the county Kildare. In 2015, White Paper on Defense announced the strength of the wing would be considerably increased. Rangers have served abroad in a number of international peacekeeping missions, including Somalia, East Timor, Liberia, and Chad. The ARW trains with Special Forces units around the world, particularly in France. Now, my peeps, some of you know I served in Somalia. Oh, and just for all you haters out there, yeah, I'm legit. However, I never actually have ever met anybody from the Irish Army Ranger Wing, aka an Irish Ranger. So from my personal aspect of things, you know, I really can't say that I've ever worked with them, that I've ever even seen one, to be quite honest with you. Today, the Republic of Ireland has just roughly 10,000 members in its defense forces to protect Irish sovereignty, neutrality. Special operations capability within the Irish Defence Force rests with the Army Ranger Wing, basically the Irish Rangers. The ARW, or in Gaelic the term Fiann O'Clash, harkens back to Na Fianna, the warriors, it would be called in English, who were legendary. It can also be seen on the ARW's shoulder tab insignia. The ARW can trace its beginnings to the Irish Defence Force personnel who attended the U.S. Army Ranger Course during the late 60s and early 70s. That would be in the 1900s. These graduates offered the first Ranger course in Ireland in 1969, emphasizing the same skills taught to the U.S. Army Rangers, including small unit tactics, endurance, survival, and marksmanship. For the next decade, Irish troops who attended Ranger training went back to their units and taught them the skills they had learned. Then, in March 1980, as a result of the increased threat of terrorist acts, Ireland established the ARW to give the Republic special ops and counterterrorism capabilities. Now, being said Ranger, United States, I must say, well, of course they attended the United States Ranger School, the best freaking leadership school on the entire planet Earth. Let me just put it that way. That's how HUA, I feel, the leadership school is, and also known as the Ranger course. You know, the little black and yellow tab that's HUA as a motherfucker. So basically, my peeps, the ARW, the Irish Army Ranger Wing, aka Irish Ranger, was activated on 16 March 1980 to the present. They're basically the Special Forces, Special Operations, Counterterrorism of Ireland. They're part of, as stated, the Defense Forces. They're garrisoned at Curragh Camp, County Kildare, as I stated. Motto, basically, in English, the cleanliness of our hearts, the strength of our limbs, and our commitment to our promise. Basically, their colors are black and red and gold. They do don the green beret, which I have mixed feelings on that. However, it's a total nother country, so they could put on pink berets as far as I'm concerned. Because we all know there is only one green beret in the universe. But I must say that I do believe that these troops are pretty HUA. So let's get the fuck downrange and get on with the build. But before we get down said proverbial range, if you're new around here, go ahead and snipe that subscribe. It certainly helped me out. So as always, my peeps, enjoy. Okay, my peeps, so as usual, I just feel like I repeat myself so much. Also, I just wanted to state really quickly that, you know, if you get butt hurt on some of my builds, like, you know, that they're not exact, like, you know, the real life counterparts, you know, I mean, I don't know what to tell you with that, because this is just my opinion, and these are my builds, actually. I mean, with that being said, if you get butt hurt or whatnot, and you don't got to stay true to this build, let me tell you that first off. I mean, this is just my opinion and stuff on, you know, I got a little experience, you know, a couple of months in the military, so, you know, just saying that if you get butt hurt, I mean, just leave it in the comments and let me know, my peeps, and, you know, maybe we'll take up a collection for you or something, you know. So anyway, let's go ahead let's go ahead and hit the back button, and with saying that, my peeps, let's go. It's that time. Today, pull out your 10. Pull out your big league chew. But right now, we're going to go ahead and fire it up. Yes, sir. We're going with the Copenhagen Snuff today, silver lid. Oh, yeah. That's a good cracker. Good cracker. All right. So, let's go ahead and hit the loadout. And as usual, we're going to go ahead, edit appearance, let's go. The head, this is what I'm using. Facial hair, we're going to go with none, my peeps, simply because we will be using a gas mask on this build. And how's it going to seal if you got a freaking beard? That's what I keep trying to tell people. Trust me, SEALs, SF, anybody in the Specs Out community, if we know there's a nuclear biological hazard, basically an NBC, if there's a possibility of that attack, let's see who all wears them big beards then. Just saying, just point of fact there. Alright, so we're going to be clean saving troop. Hair, I'm going and staying as always with the Warhawk. Hair color, brown, one each. Facial details, left side burn. Again, I want to thank my peep that commented and told me, actually he sent me an email about the scar on the left face, because as I mentioned, I was wounded on my left side and I used to wear the eye scar on this on the right side. However, now that I know this, it will be the burn mark on the left side of the face. And if you want to know a little more about that story, you can check out my last build and I'll leave it in the comments. I actually discussed that in that video. So let's go. Hey. Alright, body details, my peeps. We're going to be going with the eye black. You can wear whatever camo you want. Again, this is just what I wore on deployment. So, going with the eye black. On the right, we got the Santa Maria as usual. Need somebody watching my back beside my team. And there we go on the left side, mi familia. And that is a very appropriate tattoo. In fact, who knows? I might be dropping a video and maybe we'll discuss, am I too young to be a grandpa? Yeah, that might be an upcoming video right there. So yeah, we're going to go with mi familia. Clothes, my peeps. I thought about this and thought about it, but really, it wasn't that hard to think about. We're going with the Cry Combat shirt for this Irish Ranger, and we'll be putting that in the multicam black number 12. Vest, we're going with the 511 TAC plate. Now, I was just going to go with the TAC vest itself, but seeing how this is also geared more towards a counterterrorism hostage rescue stick here, so that is why we are going with the tactic plate, because of the simple fact that we're going to be busting and kicking down some fucking doors. Especially if you're the lead man in, you're definitely going to be wanting a little extra protection over your vital organs there, Cupcake. So we'll be going with the tactic plate instead of the tactical vest, but again, you can equip it in anything you want. I don't give a crap. Let's go. Number 1 black, my peeps. Pants, go with the Cry Combat. We're going to put those in the number 12 multicam black. Footwear, yeah, finally we can pull out the hiking shoes again, and we'll be putting those in the black, the old 511 hack shoes. Let's go. Ghillie suit, of course, none, my peeps. Accessories. Man, I got cottonmouth today. I don't know what's going on. And plus, my peeps, it's been like burning up in Michigan. Like, what the F? Like the last like 5 days, it's been like 90 degrees. I've been working from like 5 a.m. sometimes to 2000, right? Or 8 p.m. I mean, 05 to 2000, man, that's a lot of work. Between the golf course, my homestead, helping the peeps out around here with their farms. But you know what? It all comes around because you help somebody out, and then when you need help, guess what? They're going to be there for you. They're not going to think back to the time that they asked you for a little hand and you were too busy. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, that's just how, you know, us farmers do it. Also, if you are interested in farming or whatnot, I've got a plethora of farm sim videos. But let's go. Eyewear, no reason to show it because we're going with none. Face wear, dun da da. We will be going with the gas mask, commonly referred to as the M18 gas mask, actually. So, yeah, I've worn this, I've donned this, I've donned all kind of masks in my career. However, this is, to me, the go-to for counterterrorism insurgent, and we'll be putting that in the black. Headwear, we're going to go with the watch cap. I'm not hating if you go with the Scully, but let's, you know, if you take a look at the other things, I mean, it looks retarded. And with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and go with the watch cap and wear that in the black. Number 1. Yeah, that. Headsets. We're going to go with headset A. I'm really not hating you if you even want to go with the earpiece, but I've been thinking about it, and I looked around at C, B, pulled up a few pictures on the El Googlo, and to me, headset A is the plan, and we'll go with number 1 black on that, my peeps. Handwear. Now, sticking that we're wearing a gas mask, we're assuming that there's going to be NBC attacks, right? Or a chance of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to wear the Nomads, but here's why we're going to do this, my peeps. They look similar to the NBC gloves that you would don in case of a chemical attack in the United States Army anyways. And pretty much, I'm pretty sure any other military. But if you've ever donned the NBC suits, you know that they don't look anything like the Oakley pilots. Even though I'd like to go with the Oakley pilots, and you can go with the Oakley pilots, and I might switch to the Oakley pilots in game. For this build, and this video, we're going to go ahead and hit the Nomax, and we will be putting those in the number 25 black. Rucksacks, my friends, my peeps, my fam, check it out. So, I was really looking at different rucksacks and such, and I know that a lot of your high-speed units actually, you know, carry the 511 Rush. However, this is definitely a high-speed unit. Just got to say that, as well as my Ranger builds, when I was in the military, I carried a Prick 88 and a Prick 150 as the RTO, radio transmission operator. So with that being said, I do have a fondness for the Prick. That's what she said. However, with that being said, I wouldn't hate you if you went with the drone. But with the drone, my peeps, it looks good. And the thing is, the freaking bandana. Like, what the hell, Yubi? Why are you putting a bandana on it to begin with, honestly? Because you got your drone strapped in. But you have force-fed us parts of uniforms. You have not even put typical camos that are just no-brainers, like the Marpat. Maybe there's a licensing, but, I mean, you had no problem calling the 226, the 6-hour 226 and 227, so I just don't get it. I don't know what the heck's up with you guys sometimes, what you're thinking. And then to put it on there, and us not being able to take a freaking, put our color on it, is just, it's just a clusterfuck, is what it is, Yubi. And I hope you hear me, and I hope you fix it someday. At least this Wildlands is taking off. It's a good game. I'm not down on you on that, but there are certain things in this game that just bug the freaking snot out of me. It bugs me. It bugs me. And this is one of them. But again, you want to go with a low profile rucksack, my peeps. And as you see, the Rust 72 extends out. Just about they really all extend out. And you know, the thing is, you're going to want some gear with you. Or I just put on the camelback. But, you know, you never know when you're going to get stuck in the bush for a couple of days. So what we are going to do is equip the Prick 150 in the black. Patches, you can go whatever you want, my peeps. But me, we're going to keep it real with the Romeo 9. Let's roll, my peeps. And that, my peeps, is the outfit. I also wanted to go over one more thing with you before we get off this. And you might notice on the Tactate LBE that we're wearing that basically it looks like there's one magazine taped. And I'm going to tell you something about that, okay? And here's the thing. I know there's a lot of builds out there, but you're getting the insight, man. You're getting the insight of a pipe swinger. This is what I'm trying to tell you, right? So I'm going to tell you guys that tape right there, usually, okay, usually when you carry multiple magazines, what I've done in the past is you put actually different colored tapes on your magazine. And it's not for you to know which magazine stacked, say, with, you know, Teflon or, you know, JHPs, you know, thermites. It's not only to tell you that, because you know, because of your training, what each magazine and where in order you have it on your LCE, right? What I'm saying is, it's in case you go down and your buddy has to basically resupply on you. He knows, okay, because in the briefing, you guys have already discussed, okay, blue tape means it's straight full metal jacket, right? Green tape, basically, you know, it could be Teflon stacked with jacketed hollow points, right? Red tape could be a full clip of thermite. So that's actually, I was surprised that they put that tape on the 9mm mag pouch there. I was really surprised that they did that, and that's pretty freaking hooah. So, Yubi, you know, I'll give you praise when you deserve it, but I'm going to tear your asshole out if you deserve it too. So with that being said, let's get on. Weapons, my peeps. Yeah, we got a newcomer, basically the freaking AUG 3, as well as we will be equipping the MP5 today. We haven't equipped that, I think, since the SAS build. But again, keeping with counterterrorism and hostage rescue, of course, we're going to carry the MP5. You can, of course, carry the MP7, but those two weapons, my peeps, especially the MP5, it is incredible to me that this weapon has been around and has been a staple in special operations hostage rescue. Now, this Heckler and Koch here, now, it was actually designed in 64. In 64 to 66, they were actually test firing it and making sure it was good to hook, right? So then, they actually started stamping them in 1966. And if you're new around here, you know I always preach about the staying power, the actual staying power of military weapons, right? And this is definitely one of them. Again, the upgrade to this would be the H&K MP7, but again, You know, if I had to choose between the MP7 and the MP5, it would definitely be the MP5, and basically twice on Sunday. I love the MP5. I've shot one. I've carried one. They are badass weapons when it comes to CQB, close quarter battle. Now, my peeps, let's get right into the freaking loadout here. I did open the number 51 steel the other night, and I actually, you know, it looks good here, right? It looks really good. It looks clean. I mean, I love the look of it. However, the thing is, when you get it in the sunlight, you stand out like a thermal freaking beacon. And, you know, I don't know about you, but I would not like to be sniper bait anytime soon, right? When I take a nap, I don't want it to be a dirt nap. So, again, we're going to go and we're going to equip it in the black. Okay, my peeps? Now, the number 1 black, again, I know, you know, if you want swag, if you want the swagalicious or whatnot, you know, maybe you should go watch a kid's channel, my peeps, because I'm putting it down. I'm putting it down to you. And if we do back-to-back builds that require the black, well, guess what? That's exactly what we're going to do. Because, you know what? I go for tactful over swagful. Yeah, roger that, you know. You're not going to find a bunch of gold swag in anyone's military. Let me just put it that way. Maybe, you know, in the skinnies military, but not in the fucking might of the United States military. Skinnies, you know, I mean Somalians, right? So, all right, so we're going to equip it in black, getting back on target here. We're going to go into parts. Folded buttstock. We will go with the folded. Again, with this weapon, with the MP5, I'm going for accuracy and handling. I'm going for both. I'm not going for one after another, right? So we're gonna try in this build of this MP5, because we'll be door kicking, you know, and getting into shit severely during counterterrorism. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to keep the handling and accuracy together as stated. We're going to put that in the black. Scope, again, if you know me, you know I love the panoramic. Again, there are certain things within the video game that I would equip that I wouldn't equip in real life. Now, in real life, I would be going with the EXPS3. However, in this video game, I'm going with the panoramic for the simple fact, and I've preached it before, that you got 180 degrees of clear vision even when scoped in, and we're going to be putting that in the gray. Trigger, only one choice there, full auto, semi. Let's go. Magazine, we're going with the extended 30, and we'll be putting that in the gray. Underbarrel. Okay, again, sticking with what I explained, that we're trying to keep our accuracy and handling on the same level here, right? So, with that being said, for sure, one of my favorite underbarrel attachments in real life as well is shift short angled, right? And I'm not hating you. If you don't got that open, go ahead and equip the AFG, the fucking new guy. But anyway, yeah, go ahead, equip the shift short angled. You can go through the others and you'll see that the shift short actually does the job as far as keeping your accuracy and handling together. And we'll be putting that in the gray, my peeps. Rail, we're going to go with the laser 3-dot. Again, Yubi, I don't know why you won't let us turn our lasers off, just like in real life, just like in BF4, but whatever. I guess you have your reasons. I thought you had like this cast of, you know, SEALs and SF and all the Spec Ops. You know, I thought you had a cast of them helping you on this game. I can't believe that one of those guys would drop the ball like that. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and put it into laser 3-dot. Keeping with, again, accuracy and handling, we're trying to keep it together and even. We'll be putting that in the gray. Barrel, standard barrel. Again, why would we go with the long barrel to slow us down on our 180 sweep once we quick that fucking door in and try to put these tangos and give them a dirt nap? Why would we put a long barrel in? Again, you'll be engaging with this weapon 10 meters and under. 10 to 20 meters and under. So we'll be putting the standard barrel, we'll be equipping that in the gray. Muzzle, we'll be going with the stock muzzle. We'll be equipping that in the number 1 black. Suppressor, go ahead and throw that in the black. But again, go ahead and equip the stock muzzle, because our secondary will have the Victor 2 on it, and you'll be putting that in the number 1 black. So my peeps, that's it. The H&K, again, been in service since, I guarantee you, 80% of you weren't even a thought in your mama and daddy's freaking head in 1966. Let's freaking go. And that, my friends, is what you call battlefield staying power right there. Okay, my peeps, secondary. The newcomer to the loadouts here, and this is actually what the Irish Rangers use, and that would be the Steer AUG. And basically, this weapon came around in 1978, mostly used by Austria forces, and it was actually in 1978, it was actually developed by the Austrians. So why wouldn't they use it as their primaries? But again, the Irish Rangers, again, let's not get that twisted with the good old U.S. Rangers, which every Irish Ranger actually has to come to the United States Airborne Ranger course. Because, in my opinion, the Rangers of the United States are numero uno. Again, with this weapon, now, I have, on weapon familiarization, when I was supposed to fire this weapon, I was actually getting smoked, right? And maybe that's for another video. But yeah, basically, the instructors were smoking me because I was sort of careless with the weapon, and we might get into that again. But again, now to me, I've never fired a rear-fed weapon, right, as far as behind your trigger guard. So if any of you peeps have, I would really like to hear from you. And how does that work out? Now, obviously, I think with all my years of training and being an older type of fucking pipe swinger warrior type, I think that I have basically, with my muscle memory, I have basically been so accustomed to a front-fed magazine that I just don't think I would actually like this at all. But again, you know, it's just like anything in life. If I practiced enough with it, I'm sure I could get sufficient at it. But it's just like golf, guitar, just anything that requires muscle memory. You know, you train like you fight like you train. So with that being said, let's get on with the build. But definitely leave those comments if you're accustomed to this weapon, and let me know that if the transition is smooth as far as a rear-fed magazine. So again, my peeps, paint presets. Again, we're going to be equipping it in black. And yeah, if you got a problem with that, sorry, man, I might take a donation up for you. Again, I put it in the steel, and I will show you a picture, and you are just nothing but sniper bait when that sun reflects off that steel. So go ahead and equip that in the #1 black. Scope, we're going to be go ahead and hitting with the EXPS in the G33. It's basically a double stack, and this is the reason why here. First off, we're going to engage with this weapon probably anywhere from 300 say to 50 meters, right? Now the EXPS is actually, it doesn't have any kind of zoom with it, even though I do like this sight in real life. But again, for a video game, I don't like the thickness of the sight aperture itself and how it's kind of hard to keep your peripheral with it in a video game. However, it has no zoom capability to it. Now, the Golf 33, you equip it with in coordination with the EXPS, and you will definitely have a freaking full can of grade A whoop ass as far as sight apertures. It's actually zooms to 2 times, so you can switch it in game and in real life. But in game, you just hit right on your D-pad on PS4 or Xbox One, and you have the option of not only zooming in 2 times, you have the red dot available to you, and we will be putting that in the gray. Trigger, full auto semi. Of freaking course, why wouldn't we? Magazine, we're going to be going and equipping the extension, and we'll go with the Extendo 30, and we will be putting that in the black. And also, if you go with the 20, watch that fire control. You got to be disciplined. Okay, and we'll be putting that in the #1 black. Underbarrel, come on, man, this thing is given so many tangos dirt naps that, I mean, they probably have lost count of it, for Christ's sake. Anyway, my peeps, of course, we're going to go with the underbarrel attachment of the Mike 203. To me, just a whole lot of loving, and we're going to be putting that in the gray. Rail, my peeps, we're going with the rail cover here. You know, I'm not hating you if you put the rangefinder on. It definitely helps your range, but look how your handling drops. And for this weapon, and also because I'm not used to this weapon in this video game on Wildlands or in real life, I would go ahead and put the rail cover on to just make sure you got that handling, and put that in the gray. Barrel, we will be going with the long barrel. Again, we could be taking shots out to 400 meters if you could actually, you know, engage and, you know, see the target. And depending on what kind of cover and concealment you got, because obviously you're not going to be wanting to give away your position. But with that being said, we need to reach out and touch it, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So we'll go, oh man, I almost let a word drop that I'm so proud of myself that I didn't. I was actually listening to some rap music this afternoon. That's right. And you know, that N word, man, they just throw it around just, and I was, man, I'm just going, yeah, okay. So with that being said, we're going to put that in the gray long barrel, my peeps. Love you all. All right, muzzle. We're going with the Victor 2. And if you know me and you know my builds, on my secondary, really, whatever I'm shooting at long range with, I usually will put the compensator V2. I did have a compensator V2, not in my military, but while I was working with law enforcement, I definitely had the compensator V2 equipped to my M4, which in my opinion again is the best freaking weapon ever. So let's go compensator V2. If you don't got it, unlock it and put that in the black. With that being said, my peeps, here's the new weapon, new to the loadout anyway, the steer AUG, and again used by the Austria who actually developed it. But just so you know, they also in the Australian Army have adapted this and made some modifications, and basically it would be the STG-77 basic framework of the steer. However, the STG-77 would be calibered in the 7.62 by 51, whereas your steer is a 5.56, and this weapon right here basically is known as a bullpup assault rifle. So when people speak of bullpups, this is one of them. Pistol. Now, the Irish Rangers, right, they carry the Sig Sauer 226, which is a great weapon. There is no doubt that this weapon is a superior sidearm slash pistol, right? Now, here's the thing. You have SEALs that carry this. You have operatives in SF that carry it. You have the pipe hitters, the pipe swingers that actually will carry the SIG, but I would say it's about 80%, whereas 20% actually carry what I love, and you guys know I love the M1911, aka the Colt Commander 45. I can't tell you how much I love the 45 round for so many reasons, and perhaps I'll just do a video on a 45 caliber as well. And going back to the M5, if you get a good enough gunsmith, he can actually rebore the M5 into a 45 caliber barrel, and that, my friends, is what's up. The M7 is a 945. The M5, you actually got to do some work to convert it into a 45 caliber. However, it's well worth it. So the paint we're going to be going today, we're going to be going with the steel. I think that it's appropriate for the sidearm, the pistol, you know, self-consciously. I guess if you're in a very lit tactical situation, you're going to have to remember to keep your firearm, your sidearm hip away from the light. Okay, but yes, we will be equipping that in steel so you guys can get a good look at it. If you don't have the steel unlocked, of course, go ahead and equip it in black, and whatever parts I'm putting in black, you go ahead and put in gray. Roger that. So with the magazine, we're going to be going with this, with the extended 20, and I know what you're saying. You're saying, Matrix, why are you going with the extended 20 when you stated just last video that you couldn't stand extended clips because it interfered with your fast draw from a threat leveled holster? And for this, I can only, because my peeps, the reason we would be doing this, I will tell you in a minute. Rail cover, we're going to keep it clean, and we're going to be putting that in black. Barrel, we're going to be going with the standard barrel for obvious reasons. We'll be putting that in the black as well. Muzzle, equip your suppressor in the black, equip your stock muzzle in the steel, and equip it. Suppressor as tactfully needed, we'll swap out to while in theater. So go ahead and equip the stock muzzle in the steel. Now my peeps, look at the extended on the SIG. I've shot a SIG with an extended round, and it feels comfortable, and you can get out of a threat holster very, very clean with this weapon, as well as when you're sighting in and aiming in. Basically, you have that little extension to wrap your pinky around. And for someone that's got big hands, really, really helps with, I feel, the handling of this weapon. And of course, you're going to have the tritium sights, which is always a plus in low-lit situations. So that's it, my peeps. That is pretty much the weapon loadout. Everything else down here, you can basically equip to, you know, what your need is to your team, to the guys you play with, or whatever you prefer. You know what I mean? I prefer frag grenades, 6 of them. Trust me, there's going to be fragmentation coming at you. And following that is either going to be 7.62 or 5.56 to make sure you get a good little nap, you fucking tangos. So here we go. Frag grenades, I carry 6 of them. Flare gun, as always. I'm always going to carry the flare gun on this game. And like I said, you can equip the flash, diversion, C4 mine, and your drone. Drone is definitely a plus in this game. It definitely will help you out. So I'm not even hating you, but I personally am not a drone operator in this game. I mean, I use it. I can use it in a emergency situations, but you know what? I got other peeps that love the drone. So that is the 2017 Irish Ranger build, my peeps. I really hope you enjoyed it. I want to kick something up to you and get some feedback from you. I just don't want to do it without, you know, my beloved subscribers having a say in it. I wanted to suggest something and get some feedback because I know that a lot of my subscribers really like to comment, and that's ballsy, that's tits. I love it. I love you. I love you all, fam. So I want to run this idea by you. So, you know, the history builds preceding the builds, the actual builds themselves. I want to know if you guys would like to see the history first, and then in 1 to 2 days see the build right after. That would, I'm not going to say it would help me out or not. It would just, you guys would be getting, you know, 2 videos from Wildland builds a week. You get a history lesson, and then you would know what the following build was. Or, you know, I could just keep it right now anyways, especially, you know, with this crazy heat in Michigan. You know, I could just keep it again at, you know, 1 build a week with the history lesson. So definitely let me know in the comments about that. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. Tell all your friends about my channel if you don't mind. And you know what to do. Go ahead and snipe the like, snipe the sub, because my peeps, that's how we roll.
Dreaming big, town is small, and it's going down. All I need is a microphone, I'm headed for the crown, y'all. Call me whack, call me weak, they'll never blow. Memphis bleak, they know like the radio that Henderson was meant to speak. I'm on these tracks, just like Thomas, I'm the truth, just being honest. Y'all a bunch of Martin and Anthony's, yeah, that's prima donnas. Wayne Brady, they know the deal. Henderson just showing.